Hi everyone, good evening. So myself Abhishek Chauhan, I work as a senior business analyst with Kylas. I welcome all of you to another episode of Kylas webinar. The topic of today's webinar on my screen is using data sharing rules to manage hierarchy. Okay, so first we will cover what is a sharing rule. I think we have covered this in one of our earlier webinars as well, but one of its application, which is to implement hierarchy in Kailas, is something that we are going to look into today. And then how to create rules, and on the basis of those rules, how we can implement the hierarchy. So by hierarchy, what I mean is, I will quickly share my screen and I will tell you. So when people talk about hierarchy, there is this kind of image comes into their mind, right? So where there are certain users in their organization. Okay, so everybody of us is running one or the other organization, right? So we have many executives in our company, and they are following a certain hierarchy in the organization, right? So how we can build such a hierarchy in Kailas such that the visibility of records is actually based on this. So in this case, the typical requirement that we are getting from our customers with respect to hierarchy is that, let us say there are these many users. Okay, so there is leader 1101, 1102, and 1103. Similarly, there are 2101 and 2102. So you can imagine these are your sales executives. Okay, then leader 1 and leader 2 are the sales managers, right? And then director 1 and director 2 are again HODs of two different departments, and both of them are reporting to, let's say, this tenant user called Abhishek Chauhan, right? Okay, so now the typical requirement in every organization is that leader 1101, 1102, and 1103, they are reporting to leader 1. So whatever leads these three users are working upon, this person called leader 1 should be able to see all those leads that these three people are working upon. Similarly, leader 2, who is actually the manager of 2101 and 2102, should be able to see the leads or deals or contacts, whatever. So in this whole webinar, I will term all records as leads. So whatever I'm saying with respect to lead is actually true with respect to deals and contacts as well. So leader 2 should be able to see the records of 2101 and 2102, right? But there is a clause that leader 1 should not be able to see the records of leader 2. That means leader 1 should not be able to see the records that 2101 and 2102 are working upon. Okay, so this is a typical hierarchy level requirement. It can extend to multiple leaders, that means multiple managers, and again it can extend to multiple executives like 1101, 1102. It can go up to n users, but the implementation would be common whatever the scale is. Okay, so I will explain how we can implement such a hierarchy in Kailas, because one thing that you might be aware of in Kailas is that there is something called profile permissions. Okay, so what I can do is I can create certain profiles and I can assign it to multiple users. This thing we have covered in our earlier webinars as well, and this is a typical way to create profiles and assigning it to users. Okay, but in the profiles there are only two options. One is read, another is read all. Okay, the difference between read and read all is simply if somebody has read permission, that means they can see all the leads that are assigned to them or shared with them. If somebody has read all permission, then they can see all the leads that are available throughout the organization. Okay, so this picture is quite black and white. So you can imagine, let's say this person called Abhishek Chauhan is supposed to view records of the whole organization irrespective of the assignee. Okay, so this person can have read all permission, right? And these executives, leader 1101, 1102, they are supposed to view only their own records, so we can give them read permission, right? But what about these two levels of hierarchy which is lying in between, leader 1 and director 1, who are supposed to view the records that actually their direct reportees are working upon, but they are not supposed to view the records of other managers reportees. Okay, is my problem statement clear to everybody? Are we trying to solve the right problem? Are you facing such a such a to implement such a thing in the CRM?
Yes, sir. This is fine.
Okay,
We are also trying
perfect.
to do the same. Yeah.
Okay, okay, all right, all right. So now let me tell you how we can achieve that. Okay, first of all, what we will be doing is we will be creating profile permissions based on your day-to-day requirement. So even you don't create a custom profile, we are okay with these two profiles, admin and restricted users. Okay, admin is simply having permission to everything, each and every activity available in the system. They have read all, so they can see all the records available in the system. There is another system profile which is restricted user. This user has all the basic access but none of the administrative access. Okay, so that means this profile restricted user is anybody who is having this profile on their portfolio. They will be able to see all the records that are assigned to them or shared with them, but they won't be able to see any other user's record. All right, this is thing which is already there in the system. Now on top of that, how we can build such a tree in Kylas is something that we are trying to cover today. Okay, so for that purpose, what we will have to actually do is we will have to log in from the most the hierarchy, the bottommost hierarchy in the system, for which we want to create a share rule. So how we will be actually doing it this, I will create such a share rule on leader 1101 profile that it shares all the leads to leader 1. Okay, so that leader 1 can see all the leads that leader 1101 is working upon. So let me quickly go to my incognito tab and let me log in with leader 1101's profile, which is this one. And if we go ahead to the main tenant account, I can see which profile is assigned to leader 1101 is, it should be the restricted user. So there is a user called leader 1101 and you can see there is restricted user profile assigned to him. That means leader 1101, when they log in, they can see only those leads which are assigned to them. So you can see I am logged in with leader 1101 in my incognito and they can see all the leads on which owner is leader 1101. Okay, although the tenant user, that is Abhishek in this case, is able to see all the leads which are assigned to him as well as other executives, like you can see leader 2102, 211103. So this is the topmost person in our organization, you can assume, who has been given admin profile. Okay, now what we are supposed to do on the leader 1101 is profile is something which is the most important part of today's webinar, is creating a data sharing rule. What type of data sharing rule I would like to create is, so my agenda is that leader 1 should be able to see the leads of leader 1101. Okay, so what leader 1101 is supposed to do is that share leads with, let's say, leader 1. Okay, so what they will do is they will, so in this case you can see record owner is the leader 1101. Okay, that means whatever leads assigned to this particular person, this person can share all those leads with their manager. That means in this case the manager is leader 1. Okay, and what type of records I would like to share? So in today's example we can share the leads and let us say we give all the permissions that they need. Okay, so I am creating a share rule. What this share rule is now doing is it is sharing all the leads that are assigned to leader 1101 to their respective manager, which is leader 1. Okay, okay, so before that let me delete this again. I just forgot to mention one thing, that I will log in with leader 1's profile as well and I will show what records currently they are able to see, and after share rule what they are able to see. Okay. So now you can see on my screen leader 1, who is the manager of leader 1101, and leader 1 is also having only restricted user profile. That will also I will verify. So we go to manage users and we check leader 1. You can see it is also leader restricted user. Okay. So far, in order to recap, Abhishek Chauhan is able to see all records. Leader 1101 is able to see leader 1101's record. Leader 1 is able to see leader 1's record. Now our agenda is that leader 1 should be able to see leader 1101's record as well. Okay. So for that, what we will do is we will log into leader 1101's profile, which is the direct reportee of leader 1. We will create a share rule that share with leader 1. We will share all the leads with leader 1. Here I will choose lead. This. I will give, let's say, all permissions, and I will share. Okay. So now what will happen is, let's say, now I just refreshed the screen of leader 1, who was the manager of leader 1101. The moment I refreshed, you can see leader 1 is now able to see all the leads that are assigned to this person called leader 1101. Okay, can you see on my screen? Earlier it was only one lead, but now this leader 1 can see almost 8 items, 7 of which are coming from leader 1101's account. Okay, so if again I go back to leader 1101, this person can see 7 items, and leader 1 can see 8 items, 7 plus 1. So 7 are coming from 1101, and then 8th is from the same, I mean the leader 1 itself, right? Is it clear until here? So we are able to achieve one unit of the hierarchy, which is leader 1 can see leader 1101's record. Okay. Now the next requirement is 110102 also should be able to share the records with leader 1. That means leader 1 should be able to see the records of 1102 as well. Okay. So what we have to now do is we have to simply log in with 1102's account, who is a other reportee of leader 1. Okay. What I have to do is I have to simply go to data sharing. I have to create a share rule, share with leader 1. Okay. I will choose user. I will choose leader 1, and I will choose lead. This I will give all the permission. So remember, before creating this rule, leader 1, who is the manager, is able to see only 8 items. Okay. Now the moment I create this share rule, let's see how many leads. As of now, leader 1102 is able to see is only 1. That means now the manager leader 1 should be able to see total 9 items. If I refresh, now you can see there are 9 items. Out of that, 7 are coming from 1101, 1 is coming from 1102, the other one is coming from its own assignment, which is leader 101. Okay. So now what is happening is simply leader 1101 and 1102's records are visible to leader 1. And if you still notice, there is no record leader 1 can see, which is coming from 2101 and 2102. Okay. Similarly, we can create another share rule on 1103's profile as well, that I am skipping for now. Now let us move to the next manager, who is leader 2. We have to repeat the same process for other manager as well. Okay. So now let us say I log into leader 2101's account, and we know that leader 2101 reports to leader 2. So share with leader 2. I am sharing it with user who is leader 2. Okay, and let's say I give all the permissions. Okay, now before I save this, let me log in with leader 2's profile in another incognito of this Edge browser. So it may sound little complex as I explain here, but when you start doing it on your own, this is one time effort that you have to put, but it solves all of your problems with respect to hierarchy. So now leader 2 is able to see none of the leads. Okay, so let's say there is no lead which is directly assigned to leader 2, which is fine. Let's say managers, sales managers are not directly working on any of the leads, but they are interested in viewing all those leads which their subordinates are working upon. Okay, so now I'm creating this share rule, and if I go to, let's say, 2101's profile, there is one lead which is available. Now your leader 2 should be able to see that lead which is coming from 2101. Okay, and if you notice, this person has no idea what these 1101, 1102 and 1103 are working upon. Although they are part of the same CRM, same company, they are under the same tenant, but leader 1 has no idea of what their other sales managers, direct reportees are working upon. Leader 2 has no idea of what the other sales manager, leader 1's direct reportees are working upon. Okay, so with this we are, and of course, I mean, for 2102 also you can repeat the same process that we have done. So till now we are able to achieve these level of hierarchy. Okay, the bottommost one and the immediate above them, which is that we are able to now achieve. So here what is happening is 1101, 1102, 1103, all these leads are visible to their immediate manager. 2101, 2102's leads are visible to their immediate manager, and these two managers have no idea of what other managers subordinates are working upon. Okay, so this is exactly how we are able to achieve this level of hierarchy. Before we move on, do you have any questions? Is it clear up till here? I think one of you were facing the similar problem in the organization. So do you get any idea whether this is going to solve your problem up to some extent? There are 4 browser windows that I have opened. One is the tenant account, who is the absolute most admin who can see everything. Other one is one subordinate, and its manager is in this Microsoft Edge. Then in another incognito, I have the other subordinate whose manager is in other incognito of Microsoft Edge. So I've opened 4 or 5 different browser windows which are showing 4 or 5 different roles. Is it clear to everybody? Are there any doubts? Then we will move to this next level of hierarchy, which is director 1 and director. So here what is the expectation is that leader 1101, 1102, 1103, all these 3 leads should be visible to director 1, and these 2 people's lead should be visible to director 2 also. Okay, for that purpose what we will be doing is we will be simply creating. So in this case, leader 2101 is sharing leads with leader 2. So what we will do is we will write another share rule. Let's say share with director 2. Director 2, and with the same set of permissions. because we have to take care of one thing is that ultimate ownership of leads are still with 2101. We have shared the leads with leader 2, but ownership is still with these bottommost executives. Okay, so we have to write the share rule on the owner's profile, not on the one with whom we are sharing. Okay, this is the only thing that is needs to be taken care. Now what will happen is when director 2 logs in, they will be able to see all the leads of 2101. Okay, now let us say you don't want to create two share rules because the level of hierarchies can be even more. So here I have shown only 3 level of hierarchies, but there can be multiple. So what we can simply do is, in that case, we can create a team. Okay, so I will go to tenant account and I can create a team of, let's say, leader 1 plus director 1, or in this case leader 2 plus director 2. So what I can do is I can go to that team, I can assign users. One user will be leader 1, another user will be sorry, not leader 1, leader 2, and other user will be director 2. I can move them in this team, and this team is saved now. So what I can do is I can so this is the tenant user. Now what I can do is I can go to this user. So now I have created these two share rules. So instead what I can do is I can simply delete them, and I can create only one rule which is sharing the records with a team which is of leader 1, leader 2 plus director 2. Okay, so this one single rule is actually sharing all the records with both of the users, because we have added those two users in one team. So now I don't have to create multiple rules for each of the hierarchy level. I can simply create a team of this level of hierarchy, and I can create one share rule which is sharing all the records of this particular user with both of them. Similarly, I will create another share rule with the team 2, which is sharing the record to leader 1 and director 1 on profile of leader 1102. Now, if there is another requirement that, let's say, director 1 should be able to see all these 5 executives lead. So what we have to simply do is we have to create a rule 1101 sharing with director 1, 1102 sharing with director 1, 1103 sharing with director 1, as well as 2102 and 2102 are sharing with director 1. So basically these 5 users are sharing their records with director 1. So now director 1 can see all 5 leads. However, leader 1 can see only 3 users, leader 2 can see only 2 users. Okay, so basically the core idea of building these hierarchies, whoever is supposed to see the records on which a user is working upon, simply create a rule that is sharing the records with their immediate manager. And whenever the immediate manager will log in, they will be able to see all the records that are shared with them. That means they have visibility to records of multiple other users who are working in the system and who are actually reporting to them. And they cannot see other sales managers' record. This is the main basic requirement that we had, and this is how we are able to achieve that with the help of share rules. And the ultimate most user who is supposed to see all the records, so you do not need to create a share rule. You can simply assign them a admin profile. So in this case, if you see the topmost user, who is Abhishek Chauhan, is actually having admin profile. So you need not share everybody's record with them. You simply give them read all permission. They will see every person's record available in the system. Okay. So yeah, I think this was mostly it that we wanted to cover in today's webinar. Of course, this can scale horizontally as well as vertically. So simply the number of rules created will be increasing. Nothing new has to be done. You have to just take care of one thing, that whoever is supposed to view other people's record, simply go to their profile, create a rule and share it with the target user. This is the only thing that you have to do. Rest everything will be managed by the system. We will see which permissions are to be shared with the team, which records are to be shared with the target user, and the whole hierarchy will be smoothly fitted in the system. Okay. So yeah, I think I had this much only to cover in today's webinar. Please go ahead if you have any questions. I'm sure there must be questions, because this looks little complex, but if you understand just one thing, it's all about repeating the same thing again and again. And that is one time effort. Once these rules are created, you need not look into those rules. They don't change ever. These will be there forever, and your hierarchy will keep on happening. If any new member joins in your team, again, let's say if I go and let's say there is one user who is joining in leader 2's team. So simply we have to again write a rule which is actually sharing the records of leader 2103 to leader 2. That is it. That is the only thing that is supposed to be done. Okay. So yeah, any questions? Any type of hierarchy that you are following differently in your organization and you would like me to fit? So I picked the simplest type of hierarchy that is typically 80%, 90% of the organizations are having. If you have any other pattern you are following in your company, we can discuss that and we will try to fit that in the current model. We have recorded this, will be available on YouTube as well. Okay. All right. Thank you everyone for joining.